I think, my mother had an expression, out of everything terrible, something good will come if you look hard enough for it. I think this presents us with some significant opportunities to make some real changes. We are at an inflection point, I believe, in the world economy. Not just the world economy, in the world. It occurs every 3 or 4 generations. As one of the top military people said to me in a secure meeting the other day, 60 million people died between 1900 and 1946. And since then, we established a liberal world order, and that hadn't happened in a long while. A lot of people dying, but nowhere near the chaos. And now is the time when things are shifting. There's going to be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it, and we've got to unite the rest of the free world in doing it.
That was Biden's speech in 2022 at the Business Roundtable, and I would say a year later in 2023, things have really gotten insane. I mean, the world has always been crazy. I mean, just look at everything that was going on with the C-19 at the start of 2020. But come 2023, things really got weird. Things really started to get weird when it came to that family in Las Vegas where they saw these 10-foot aliens crash into their backyard. They call the police. Next thing you know, there's no backyard footage, but the police are saying, don't call us when something like this happens again. And 10 minutes of their backyard footage just is deleted. It is destroyed. You had the government come out and say, we now need to take UFOs very seriously. After all these years, they were just a weather balloon or a swamp gas, but no, we have had knowledge that aliens and UFOs existed, and we have to let the public know. Then things go from weird to sinister. We had these unnatural fires in Maui. We have these hurricanes that start as tropical storms in places that normally do not get hurricanes. They're predicted to stay a tropical storm. 12 hours later, they develop into one of the most powerful storms the Pacific has ever seen. It becomes a Category 5 in less than 12 hours. Never seen before in history. But on top of everything else, we have this major conflict going on in the Middle East that is spilling over into the United States, which will ramp up into something greater. Maybe it'll encompass the entire world. But now we are going right back into weird news, because 2 countries that have always been at each other's throats, 2 countries that have always been at the verge of a major conflict, 2 countries that are polar opposites of one another, have now come out in agreement. On October 24th, the Kremlin finds a rare point of agreement with Biden over a new world order. But Russia states that this new world order cannot be America-centric focus, that the United States cannot be the focal point of the world, it cannot be the world police. Like I said, the speech in the beginning of the video took place in 2022, but Biden would make a similar New World Order speech just this past Friday, a speech that Russia somewhat agreed with, in stating, I think we have an opportunity to do things if we're bold enough and have enough confidence in ourselves to unite the world in ways it has never been. Then Biden goes and talks about World War II, how there was a 50-year period after World War II that worked pretty well for the United States and the world. Then he goes on to say that that period has now run out of steam, so there needs to be a new world order in a sense, a world order. So this speech is letting us know there needs to be order out of chaos to bring us back to that golden period. But this golden period after this conflict in the Middle East and what's currently going on in Europe, it's going to be a little different. It's no longer going to be American focused. The United States will not be the superpower that it used to be. The shadow government already let us know our world will transform by 2030, that being the United Nations and the World Economic Forum. The TV governments that pretend to have any real power like the United States, Russia, China, the United Kingdom, they're all made for TV. The real power comes from the World Economic Forum, comes from the United Nations. This is why the United Nations has a 2030 agenda website, Transforming Our World. These are the goals laid out for the whole world, not just Russia, not just China, not just the United States, but the whole world. Then you have the World Economic Forum telling us a group that holds no power, but they're telling us that California will no longer have private cars. Their highways and streets will now be turned into parks. So this group that holds no real power is letting us know what's going to happen in the United States. So while Biden is giving his speech, it has nothing to do with Biden. Biden's just the front man. It has all to do with these groups right here, the real power, the ones that are letting us know what is going to happen, what changes are going to take place. 2030 is going to be an absolute crazy year after everything is said and done. There is no longer going to be that illusion that your country has its own identity. Everything's going to fall under this one world government, one world currency, one world religion. Leading up to 2030, they are saying these man-made or these natural disasters are getting worse. This is our new normal. Climate change will end the lives of over 1 billion people by 2100. Disease X is right around the corner. They are saying Disease X is about 10 to 20 times worse than the C-19, that around 50 to 60 million people will lose their lives due to this unknown disease. So then you gotta say, well, how do they know that? How do they know this new disease is nothing more than another branch of the C-19? How do they know how many people are gonna lose their lives? Because this is what they've been engineering for quite some time now. They already know this because they are the ones who are engineering this. Remember how they said it's a crazy conspiracy theory that the C-19 was created in a lab? Well, years later, they are now saying it's no longer a conspiracy. They do now believe C-19 was created in a lab. Then we have this massive conflict going on, like I said, that's going to become something much greater. Our border has been weakened to allow people from these countries we are fighting to cross over into the United States. This has all been engineered to create this new world order. And like Biden said, these are not my words. This is what Biden said. Biden said that the original world order is running out of steam. So now we have to create this new order out of chaos. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support. Before I do go, I do want to mention that I do have a true crime channel called Hours of Horror. I will put the link below in the comment section. I will be discussing cases that are solved, unsolved, and mysterious disappearances. So please feel free to click the link and head over to subscribe. Thank you all once again for your amazing support.